Listen.
Spring is here and things are buzzing. Farmers and pollinators are working together to help feed us. In fact, 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat exists because of bees, butterflies, birds, bats, and other insects. Pollinators are important to our food system and the ecosystem overall. That's why farmers and those in the agricultural industry are working together to protect pollinators through education, research, and conservation efforts. Visit ilagformonarchs.org to join the buzz. That's ilagformonarchs.org.
Warmer weather means a longer honeydew list. Your county farm bureau can help you stay on top of your project list and save you money along the way. A Farm Bureau membership offer includes discounts on equipment and supplies from Grainger, plus free shipping on all standard Grainger products. Browse thousands of items from landscaping equipment to power tools. Anything you need to get the job done, Grainger has it. Not a Farm Bureau member? Call us at 309-557-2689. Or visit Illinois Farm Bureau online and join today.
You're listening to RFD Town and Country Partners, connecting you with the food you eat, the Illinois farmers who grow it, and the food-related events, destinations, and lifestyles that make our state great.
Welcome back to Town and Country Partners, in studio with Regella Scavuzzo, our local food program manager. How could I ever mess that up? Local foods program manager. Did I say it right?
You did. It's a mouthful.
Now, I have to ask you, because I think, because your name is unique, how many different pronunciations do you get?
So many. In fact, I have a really bad habit. I'm actually not really great about correcting people, which sometimes can be a problem if you've known people for a really long time.
Right.
Because I just let it go. I might correct you the first or second time, and then I just kind of eventually give up.
Mm-hmm.
If I know you're going to pronounce my name wrong and I'm meeting somebody new, I usually try and step in. But it starts to irritate the people that do know you. Even growing up, and it's actually happening now that more people here know how to say my name, they'll correct it for me. And so when I grew up, I did never have to correct people like others did it. And, you're always supposed to be polite to your elders. So I just always let it go. So I answer to just about anything. But as people learn my name, it starts to irritate them when it's being mispronounced.
I see. So it's a trend. But we know it's Regella Scavuzzo.
That's correct. And, I get regalia, you'd be surprised.
You get things done, and you're so involved with feeding people, really, in the whole system. Tell us about your trip to Des Moines last week and a little bit about that conference.
So I was at a community food system conference last week in Des Moines, Iowa. What was phenomenal about it was community food leaders. Now, it gets awkward. I never really want to say I'm a leader in something, but when you're starting to help other people do and empower them, and that's what this was about. So we had people from the Virgin Islands, from Texas, from Colorado, from Alaska, all here talking about how do we empower others to lead in local food. So a lot of local foods, and you notice I called it a community food system. So what we're talking about is not just about local foods, about where it's located, but it's about building and empowering a community. And so we talked about how do we get that grassroots organization, which we all know Farm Bureau loves, and we build a community around food. So it's beyond just about where you source the food from, but it's the economic impact. It's the collaboration. It's how it drives a community. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about all of that and how we empower other people to do it, because at the end of the day, everybody has their own community, and they should be community food leaders themselves. And
isn't it something that if there are hungry people in that circle, not a lot of things get done?
It's true. Well, it's interesting. So, I don't know if a lot of people know my background, but I came from running a local food hub, which is local food distribution. But I actually started as the community food access coordinator. And that was about getting people access to food. And we paired it with local foods. But a lot of times, up until the last few years, local foods and food access were not having the same conversation. And economic growth wasn't having the same conversation. But we're at a time now, as the food changes, and this is something, I really feel adamantly about, is we have to look at the food system as a whole. So, yes, I'm always advocating for behalf of the farmer, but we also are looking at the end of the value chain too. And unless we all work together, we can't change the way we eat. And so what we're looking at right now is how do you look at food access and hunger? How do you look at economic growth? And how do you look at food to be the driver and agriculture to be the driver for these pieces? You know, food can change a rural or an urban community, can change a farmer, but it can change the consumer.
For sure. You've reminded us of a program that would use the food stamp program, SNAP program, in a great way and offer a lot of opportunity for Illinoisans.
Yeah, so, you know, as the farmers markets are coming out, this is a great example of agriculture helping the farmer and the consumer at the same time. So it's called the Double Bucks program. It's a grant program, so we have one administrator for the state, which is Experimental Station out of Chicago, and they grant farmers markets that apply. They have to already be SNAP receivers, so that means that you can use your SNAP benefits there. They can apply for what's called the Double Bucks program, and it's a 2-for-1. So for every $1 you spend at the farmers market, you get a free $1 for fruits and vegetables. But this isn't just about incentivizing fruits and vegetables. This actually helps all of the farmers and the consumer. So that $1 can go to anything at the farmers market. So a lot of times, one of the barriers when you're at the farmers market is buying the protein. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's wonderful protein. You want to help the farmer, but it's oftentimes, if you're going to use your SNAP benefits, that's a big allocation. So now someone can go buy that hamburger, that steak, with their SNAP benefits, their chicken, their eggs, and then they get a free $1 fruits and vegetables. So they get to stretch their SNAP benefits exponentially. And, you know, SNAP benefits aren't a whole lot of money for a person. They only run 3 weeks out of the month. So you have to make that $1 work. This is a benefit for them to go to a farmer's market and get to basically double their income so they can buy the fruits and vegetables basically for free and use it to buy other products, and they can get all of their groceries at the farmer's market this way and make more money for their family.
How do they find out more about the specifics of the Double Bucks program?
So the Farmers Market Association, often, if you go to their website, Illinois Farmers Market Association, their Connect Fresh program, all of that will advertise who's got SNAP benefits. Experimental Station will talk about it, but also talk to your local farmers market. Even if they're not doing it, it doesn't mean they couldn't apply for it, but they'll be able to tell you who the recipients are.
So speaking of that, the Farmers Market Association, now when we're talking here today in the first week of April, they're meeting.
They are. So they're actually having their conference right now as we speak, and they have it annually. So all the market managers from all the farmers markets around the state come together. They get tips about things like applying for the SNAP benefit program, how to better incentivize their finances, how to market themselves, how to pick their products, how to be a better farmers market and support their community, and how to leverage volunteers, community organization. So it's really about making their farmers markets sustainable in their community. And so they come together once a year, have this meeting, and really just in time for the season to start. So we're going to see farmers markets opening starting this month. And that's if they weren't already moving from winter markets to their year-round, their summer markets.
You work with so many of these farmers that work the farmers markets, and I know that you encourage everybody, if they have a question about their food or where it comes from, ask.
That's what I always tell people. That's what local is about. It's about knowing where your food comes from and telling the story. It's a great opportunity to hear and learn about your farm, and you might learn some things you didn't know, and it might surprise you. Yes, they might not have that certificate that says organic on it, but maybe they're growing it in a way that actually means something to you too.
Anything I missed? I know we talk about the farmers market season. Are you already working ahead, I'm sure, to summer projects?
We are. So, we're going to do a lot around food safety this summer. So something called the Food Safety Modernization Act really came out a few years ago, but compliance is starting to come into rules. And this is really big in produce. So until this rule came through, there wasn't a lot of regulation on your fruits and vegetables. And we've all heard about the romaine lettuce recall, all of that different things. So this is about how we keep your food safe. Well, our farmers have to learn that, and they have to write their food safety plans, and they have to know how to follow this rule. And so over this summer, we're really going to be helping farms get ready for that because compliance starts this year.
So you'll be all over the state with that.
Yeah, and, we've got some really great partners that'll do a lot of it. We're just going to help organize it and move things. It's tricky in the summer because farmers don't really like doing trainings at that time. But, we will do our best to help do things maybe online or with the internet. We're also going to get out on the farms and get some photos and some videos for, events and things that we have later that we might be using farmers for. So it's a lot of getting on the farm and seeing the farmers.
I know you spent a lot of time at the state fair this year. Have you worked out any details on that, or will we see you?
You will be seeing us. So that'll be in August, and we are going to really highlight our farms this year. So every day is going to be a Meet the Farm opportunity. So that's going to mean you're going to hear from that farm. They're going to probably be the ones volunteering that day. They're going to get up on stage and talk about some of the stuff they grow. So it's not just about coming and getting that great apple cider slushy, but it's about hearing what specialty crops are around the state and learning a lot more about us this year.
Anything I missed, Regella, that you want to leave us with this time around?
Get out and find out where your farmers markets opportunities are coming. This is my favorite time of year. I love strawberries. And to me, that's the start of spring. So we don't quite have any yet, but they're getting really close. So get out and get onto your farmers markets.
Great advice from Regella Scavuzzo, our local foods program manager here at the Illinois Farm Bureau. Well, coming up tomorrow, we'll be promoting the Arbor Day celebration in Godfrey. They'll be holding that event from 9 until 3:30 at Glazebrook Park. Looks like a nice event. We'll get all the details. Today, coming up later, we'll be talking about an event happening at the Effingham County Fairgrounds this weekend. It's called the Hobnob Vintage Spring Handmade Market. So Hobnob Market this weekend, the 26th and 27th at the Effingham County Fairgrounds. We'll be joined by Holly Snelling with the market in just a few moments. Meanwhile, stay tuned. We'll have another food and destination piece from Mike Orso. It's all coming your way on this edition of Town and Country Partners here on the RFD Radio Network.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Daniel Grant connects rural routes for you. With more than 2 decades of reporting under his belt, Dan is the go-to source for farmers when it comes to commodities. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I grew up on a grain and livestock farm near Roseville in Warren County. What I love about my job is working with people, traveling across Illinois, and visiting farms along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Are you preparing for planting season? We don't mean to be a pest, but here's a few things you need to know before you grow. The Illinois Department of Agriculture now requires special local needs labels, including new restrictions for the use of herbicide dicamba on top of soybeans in Illinois for the 2019 growing season. Did you know these additional restrictions go beyond federally approved labels? Remember, the label is the law. To find out more about these Illinois-specific labels, visit ilfb.org/label-aware.
With another farm, family, or food-related Illinois destination and event you might enjoy, I'm Mike Orso with RFD Town and Country Partners. If organizers could have their way, all Illinois roads would lead to Charleston this weekend for the annual celebration, a festival of the arts on the campus of Eastern Illinois University.
So it's like a big party, and it's the final social event before our students kind of buckle down and head into finals.
Dan Cruz serves as festival director and shares a bit of what's taking place if you decide to head to Charleston this weekend for one of the earliest outdoor community events in Illinois.
A little bit of everything. We're not a huge festival, but we have probably one of the first outdoor art shows on Saturday and Sunday. A lot of people buy a lot of unique things that are, they can't buy at a store that's mass produced, but it's handcrafted by an Illinois artist right here.
The EIU Festival starts Friday and features several student performances and exhibitions. The art show starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday, running through 4 p.m. on Sunday. In past years, attendees have received sunburns and have been snowed upon.
Rain or shine. In fact, one of our catchphrases for celebration is be there or, well, be dry. So I think that, after going through a long, hard winter and people are itching for things to do, and especially in any excuse to get outdoors.
Crew says the festival features kid-friendly activities along with plenty of food vendors. And backed by popular demand
is the Dachshund Dash, where we have we aren't running with the ponies, we're running with the puppies. And so we have a number of dachshunds who will be racing for first, second, and third places. And last year, what was so fun was that we had an area that was kind of fenced off, and we weren't sure how it was going to go, but it was probably 6 to 8 people deep around this entire fenced-in area that was probably about 30 to 40 yards by 15 yards, and people were really into the dachshund races.
The Eastern Illinois Festival dates back to the late 1970s and returned last year after a 2-year hiatus.
It proved that Eastern Illinois University was doing well, and it was just something that the community needed, and we brought it back.
Celebration, a festival of the arts, begins Friday and continues with food and art vendors on Saturday and Sunday on the campus of Eastern Illinois University. It's located not far off of Interstate 57 in Charleston. For RFD Town and Country Partners, I'm Mike Orso.
I'm Trooper Teal at the Illinois State Police. As we enter spring planting season in Illinois, it is imperative to eliminate distractions in your vehicle and pay attention to the farm equipment on the roadway. At 55 miles per hour, it takes only 5 seconds to close the gap the length of a football field between you and a tractor moving 5 miles per hour. Distracted Driving Awareness Month in April is a united effort to recognize and eliminate preventable deaths from distracted driving. Join us to help save lives.
A message from the Illinois Farm Bureau and the Illinois State Police.
RFD Radio Network's DeLoss Yankee connects rural routes for you. DeLoss delivers essential farm and food-related news to our listeners. His witty voice has been heard on the air for more than 2 decades. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
Growing up on a farm prepared me for my career. I try to know a little about a lot of things and let the people I interview be the experts. I've always wanted to be on the radio. I'm just happy to do what I enjoy.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Hey, we're back on RFD Town and Country Partners. I'm Rita Frazier. We'll be talking about another event coming up this weekend. This time around, it will be at the Effingham County Fairgrounds in Altamont, and we're going to talk with Holly Snelling, who is with Hobnob Spring Markets. Hi, Holly.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Tell us a little bit about the concept of your markets.
Well, we started back in 2012, and we're a vintage and handmade market. We have vendors from all over the Midwest, all the states that surround Illinois, and we are kind of a Pinterest come to life. We are very, very keen on great display and wonderful customer service. We like to almost build like a little mini shopping village for a day and a half for our shoppers.
So, how many vendors do you typically have then?
Usually we have between 80 and 100. For this market, we've got around 80. It just kind of depends on the season and what vendors are doing. We have many of the same vendors for each market, but we always have some that change a little bit. We always have new vendors for each market, so you never know just exactly who you'll see, and that's part of the fun of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more, and I'm assuming that you can give us a few examples or maybe send us to a Facebook page so that folks, if they want to see some examples of what your vendors will be selling, they can see it.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, Hobnob Market, and it's HOBNOB Market. And not only do we have our Facebook page, we've also got an Instagram feed under the same name, Hobnob Market, and then our event page under our Facebook page for the spring market specifically also has a lot on it. So, yeah, people can see pictures of what we've done in the past. We usually do around 4 to 5 markets a year, kind of in concert with the seasons or holidays. We have a harvest market, a spring market, and a holiday market. So it's always at a time when people are kind of gearing up for a new season or gearing up for a holiday that's a lot of fun, and they're out looking for special things to make the season fun.
So did you choose the Effingham County Fairgrounds, or did they contact you?
We chose them. We started having our Hobnob Harvest Market several years ago, and we were first at Tuscan Hills Winery because we've been acquainted with them for a long time, and they've been our wine cash bar vendor at the market. And so we had it there for at least 2 years, and then parking just got too hard to handle because they're located in an area that is growing rapidly and has some subdivisions going in around it. And so we just outgrew the space, basically. And so they actually encouraged us to go look at the fairgrounds at Altamont, and we loved them. And they've just been super to deal with, as well as the whole town. They've been very welcoming and always want to help out however they can.
Well, it sounds good. Now, it's different, the concessions, the cash bar aspect of it, but I'm sure it makes it a little bit more enjoyable, or just, kind of a different atmosphere for strolling through. And even if we came on Friday night, so it's Friday 4 to 9 and Saturday 9 to 4, but the cash bar is after work on Friday.
Right, exactly. And a lot of people come and get a glass of wine, or Tuscan Hills always makes some sort of a seasonal cocktail with their wine, and so you can buy one of those. We've got food vendors. We've got Polly's Barbecue from Arthur. We've got the Neighborhood Kitchen, which is from the Kankakee area, and they make American-style egg rolls. We've got a new pizza vendor from the Evansville area. We've got ice cream. We've got fruit kebabs. We've got kettle corn. But everybody who sets up with us, it's not, as you said, it's not just a typical festival look. We don't want, big flags and stuff like that out. It's very cool. The people are doing more artisan-style food rather than just, fry it and get it out. It's much different than that.
Well, you don't really want the pets to come, but the kids definitely welcome.
Yeah, we've found pets are just, you never know how they're going to react to things as far as lots of people and crowds. And we always do have a lot of kids who come, and some kids aren't too fond of dogs and cats. So we ask for pets to stay home. But, yeah, we always provide free balloons for kids, and we've got stickers. We've got games they can play. We've got kind of a grove of trees in one area of the fairgrounds, and we can set up a big Connect 4 game. We have a giant tic-tac-toe. They can play cornhole, or moms and dads can play cornhole if they want to. It's just something to happy so that mom can shop a little bit longer.
Now, as we heard earlier about the event in Charleston, they're rain or shine. Are you rain or shine?
Yes, absolutely. Probably 90% of our booths are under some kind of cover, whether it's actually inside a building or the animal barns in Altamont are kind of long wooden barns, and then they've got poles along the edge of them that are wooden, and they really are cool looking. And so it's almost like shopping a whole street, in a sense, as you walk along those barns. And if it does rain, our vendors are total rock stars about thinking on their feet, and they'll make, like an aisleway inside if they have to. So nobody will be standing out in rain if it does rain. It looks like we'll have a beautiful Friday night, and we'll see what happens Saturday.
Holly Snelling with the Hobnob Spring Markets going on this weekend at the Effingham County Fairgrounds. Thanks, Holly, and good luck for a successful market. And thanks for you guys for joining us for this edition of Town and Country Partners.